Congratulations! You've got the employer's attention with your well-written application, and now they want to meet you. In today's video, I'll share with you a few examples of the types of questions you may face in a PhD interview. I'll also give you some tips on how to answer these questions. Just bear in mind that most of the time, the questions will be tailored to your research area or the specific field in which you are applying. Before we start looking at the different questions, first I would like to give you a few hints and tips on advanced preparation. The first tip is to get rid of your nerves and be confident. It's very natural if you feel a bit nervous before the interview, but you don't have to let this get the better part of you. You need to remember that the employer likes the look of you on paper and think you are a good fit for that PhD program or the project. And this is why they invited you for the interview. And so there is no doubt that they want you to succeed. Second tip is to do your research. You want to review the website of the department, check their staff list to get a feel of how you would fit in. Also research the interview panel thoroughly. If you are not given the names of the people who will be on the panel, send an email to the contact person on the advertisement and ask. From my experience, people usually ask questions based on their expertise or the research area in which they are focusing. Someone who has more experience in a certain aspect of your project will be inclined to ask questions in that area. And so if you have an idea of what the expertise of the panel is, that can be a great help for you in preparation. The third tip is to be prepared. You can prepare answers to any anticipated questions you think you might get in the interview and try to rehearse answers to those questions. Not only will this help you to communicate your answers coherently, you will also feel less anxious and more confident. And if you have some crazy friends, you can even make a mock interview where they will grill you and ask you these questions, and then you can practice how you will answer them in front of the panel. Tip number 4, ask questions and show interest. Don't forget to ask questions and to clarify any doubts you have at this stage. It will show that you are interested and you are motivated. And so don't say you don't have any questions for the panels. Try to get some questions ready to ask the panel. Let's now take a look at the possible questions you may get in an interview. Question number 1. Tell me about yourself, or tell me a little bit about your background. Here you want to give an overview of your professional expertise, your personal attributes, and highlight your strengths, abilities, and achievements that have prepared you for the PhD program. You want to look back on your previous experience, your competencies you have acquired so far, and give real examples or evidence to support the fact that you are a good candidate for a PhD position. Question number 2. Why do you think you are the right person for this position, or why do you think you are the right person for this PhD project? Here you want to identify relevant examples from your experiences and skills that provide evidence of your suitability for the role. And review your CV, your statement of purpose, and reflect on the main experiences that have prepared you. These are some areas you can focus on. The first is your academic work, your research skills, so your bachelor and master thesis, some semester projects that you've done, some courses or modules which are relevant to the program. If you've got any prizes, any awards or achievements, you need to highlight them here. Another important aspect is your work or research experience. If you've had any placements or internships or even volunteering or casual work during your previous studies, you need to highlight them here. Another very important aspect you need to highlight is if you've had any teaching assistantships in the past. Usually, many PhD programs require you to teach some laboratory courses and to mentor younger students. And so, if you have an experience being a teaching assistant, this is a very valuable skill to highlight. Extracurricular activities are also another important area where you want to highlight. For example, if you've been involved in leadership positions in a club or you've helped in organizing some events for students, you want to highlight that as one of the skills that have prepared you for a PhD. And then, of course, you want to talk about your other soft and transferable skills. For example, time management. If you are creative and can come up with ideas by yourself, you are able to work with other people, and if you have project management and analytical skills. Question number 3. What do you see as the most important issue or problem in this field today? This question gives you the space to demonstrate your knowledge of the current research theory and practice. Before you even go in for your interview, read recent papers that are related to your research topic or the specific field. Especially, you can focus on those that are published by the department or even the supervisor you will be working with. And when you're answering this question, demonstrate that you have researched the topic and you understand its value, and also highlight how you can make this happen based on your skills and experiences that you are bringing on board. And don't forget, use positive language and be enthusiastic. Question number 4. Why do you want to pursue a PhD, or what attracted you to this program? You want to think carefully and have a clear sense of the reasons why you want to pursue a PhD, and then demonstrate your motivation and enthusiasm. First of all, review the program, its focus, especially the research topic. What are the main methods you'll be using? What techniques will you employ? And demonstrate how all these experiences will help you to reach your future career goals. And if you have any personal motivations, for example, if you identified a problem and you want to be a part of the solution, or you're attracted to the tasks or novel approaches that will be employed in the project, also highlight it. I've seen a lot of people who decide to pursue a PhD in a particular field based on, for example, their relative died of cancer or something happened and they are curious to contribute to the solution. Question number 5. Tell me about a time when you have worked as part of a successful team. What did the team achieve and what was your role? Most employers ask such questions to enable you to show the competencies they are looking for by asking you to describe a particular situation you have been in. So practice answering such questions using the STAR technique. The STAR technique is basically an acronym for situation, task, action, result, and reflect. So first, the situation, you want to describe a situation you were involved in. The task, you describe what the objective you set out to achieve was, or what was your main responsibility. Action, what was it that you did? How did you approach the task? Result, what was the outcome of your actions? Here, it's also very impactful if you can highlight what were the reasons for your success. And then the final letter is reflect. This is when you look back on what you have achieved and suggest other approaches or new ideas that come out from that. Question number 6. Why did you apply to this institution, or why do you want to come here? You want to reflect on what is it that attracted you to that particular institution and why you think it will be the right place for you to study your PhD. For instance, the university's research facilities, including modern and top level instrumentation, maybe the university's ranking and international recognition, the quality of education provided, maybe the institution has many top scientists, or you've heard about the many opportunities for personal development in that institution and that has motivated you to apply there. Think about all the reasons why that institution and not another one. You also want to consider the personality, lifestyle, values, and motivation. Describe the type of environment where you feel you will be valued and supported. For example, maybe you've had some friends who have already studied in that university and told you about how supportive the institution is for students and how student focused the institution is. These are some of the things you can highlight. These are the reasons why I chose this institution and not somewhere else. Question number 7. How will you manage your time or prioritize if several things come up at the same time? Here you want to describe your experiences where you effectively managed your time by planning and completing tasks on time. For example, during your bachelor or master thesis, you had a part-time work, but you managed your time effectively to finish in time. This is an example you can give to show that you already know how to effectively manage your time. Another thing that can take it to the next level is to emphasize that you understand what you will be doing on a day-to-day basis and what your main responsibilities will be. Typical PhD candidate, you will be doing your research, you will be teaching some laboratory courses, you will be mentoring younger students. Demonstrate that you know what your main responsibilities will be and how you plan to handle them. Question number 8. Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years' time? Here you want to reflect on your long-term career goals and aspirations and describe what you would be doing after the PhD. Also highlight how the PhD training, the skills, new experiences will help you to reach those goals. Question number 9. Tell me about a challenge you have overcome in the past. Here they want to assess your problem-solving skills, and so use scenarios in which you were faced with a problem and describe the steps you took to overcome them. You can also use the STAR technique here to answer. So you use a situation, describe what was the problem and how you were able to overcome it. And rather than just describing what you did, you need to focus on how you solved the problem and why you chose the approach you used in solving the problem. Question number 10. What do you think your areas of development or weaknesses are, and how would you develop them during the PhD? Here, we want to know if you are self-aware and can recognize your limitations and take steps to address them. So you want to ask yourself, which of your qualities do you need to improve on? The only thing is to make sure that this is not the key skill which is required for the PhD program. For example, you can talk about limited knowledge of a particular software if it's not the main software required for a PhD, limited knowledge of a foreign language or computer skills. You can also talk about your inability to manage multiple tasks at the same time, but because the PhD requires you to do multiple things at the same time, you will learn how to efficiently manage your time. Also, another area you can develop is learning how to delegate tasks to younger students. During the PhD, you'll be supervising bachelor or master students, and so you want to demonstrate that you will not be micromanaging them. You will give them the opportunity to also develop. Question number 11. In which other areas apart from research and teaching could you contribute to this department? Or they could just ask you in general, what will you bring to the institution? Most of the time, employers receive applications from candidates with similar qualifications. So this is an area where you can actually demonstrate what is it that sets you apart from the other candidates. You could make a good impression if you have experience in organizing an event for a large group of people, for example, student conferences, or you have experience in marketing and you have some computer skills that can help the PR department, or you perform well in some sports and you've been involved in club activities or you've held some positions of responsibility, these experiences you can bring to the institution. And so these are some of the things you can highlight to set yourself apart from the other candidates. And then finally, do you have any questions for us? Just as the institution is trying to find out if you are a good fit for them, it's also a great opportunity for you to find out if they are a good fit for you. So prepare some questions you might have, which will also show your motivation and interest in the program and research topic. For example, you could ask the project leader or supervisor, if we could only do one aspect of this project, which one would you want me to focus on first? Another question you can ask is, how is the university's links to prospective employers? An institution which has strong links with companies and industry is likely to offer more chances of future employment. And another question you can ask is, what support structures do you have in place for new hires? Do you have integration programs? Does the university support visa application in terms of international students? Or some institutions even have buddy programs that you get someone who can guide you during your initial days at the university or institution. So these are good ways to demonstrate that you are interested and you want to come there rather than just saying you don't have any questions. So I hope you will find these questions helpful in your preparation for your PhD interview. I wish you all the best, and if you have any questions or if I can help you in any other way, get in touch.